Good morning everyone, I'm Janessa Galasio. The topic that I will discuss today is selecting the project manager. In selecting the project manager, the primary responsibility of project manager is to ensure that the project plan is well implemented. The role of a manager is to use available resources. What resources? Like manpower and tools to accomplish goals and objectives. The project manager has a wide span of interaction within and outside the project environment. So, he or she must be versatile, assertive, and effective in handling problems that develop during the execution phase of the project. Selecting a project manager requires careful considerations. It is one of the most crucial project functions. So here are the shoulds for selecting project manager. First, should promptly and satisfactorily get the job done. Fulfill all requirements and no delay for the project or finish at specified time given. Next, should possess technical and administrative credibility. A project manager should keep the project on schedule within the cost, and the materials needed are available. Third, should up-to-date in technologies. As a project manager, being up-to-date to technologies can help your organization to become innovative and competitive. Next, should be a good record keeper. Because the project manager is the vital link between the project and upper management, he or she must be able to convey information at various levels of details. And lastly, should have good leadership qualities. A good project manager must be a good leader who will lead with effectiveness to his team. He or she will be a good follower also that will teach his members a good way to build and achieve one goal. In selecting the project manager, the selection process should be as formal as a regular recruiting process. A pool of candidates may be developed through nomination, applications, eligibility records, shortlist, or administrative appointment. The candidates should be aware of the nature of the project and what they would be expected to do. Formal interviews may be required in some cases, particularly those involving large projects. In a few cases, the selection may have to be made by default if there are no other suitably qualified candidates. Default appointment of a project manager implies that no formal evaluation process was carried out. Political considerations and quota requirements often lead to default selection of project managers. As soon as selection is made, an announcement should be made to inform the project team of the decision. In selecting the project manager, the desirable attributes of a project manager are first, inquisitiveness. Project managers should ask questions not just to get information but also to learn from the people they lead. It is also necessary as a project manager that we listen if each of our co-workers in the team has suggestions because there are various suggestions that you can consider and if there is something that needs to be fixed in the project plan or for improvements. Next is good labor relations. Positive relationship for your team can help to be more productive and hardworking. It's simple here. If you work well as a project manager with the teams you handle, the goals of your project plan will be easier and more easily to achieve. The third one is good motivational skills. Allows you as a project manager to gain valued outcomes for your team like being creative, boost engagement, and develop competencies. As a project manager, you can help your team work harder and have focus to finish your project well. Next is versatility with company operations. Allows you as a project manager to do many different things well for your company. As a project manager, you have the ability to do the various roles or positions that the company can give you more effectively because you have a lot of experiences or knowledge about those so you can easily fulfill them. Lastly, excellent communication skills. As a project manager, it allows others and yourself to understand information more quickly and accurately. It's not just about the speaking that we need to be good. A project manager can also show it with his gestures, body language, pitch of voice, or tone of speech. If the future project manager has poor communication skills, it can lead to misunderstandings and frustrations in your team, and your project as a team in a company can be delayed. That's all for selecting the project manager. The next reporter to continue is Miss Quintero.
Hello everyone, I am Marinel Quintero and I am here to report what is project team and the problem of cultural differences. So first, what is the meaning of project team? As a definition given, it is a team whose members usually belong to different group functions and assigned to activities for some project. A team can be divided into sub-teams according to needs, and usually project teams are only used for a defined period of time and they are disbanded after the project is deemed complete due. Example of this:
teamwork results in excellent projects. We inspire ourselves thanks to a variety of perspectives. Utilizing this potential and making sure different breeds of people work together is key. Chemistry is a prerequisite to good business. Everyone on the team influences a so interactive project. We know how to work together for customers large and small. Our projects are always successful.
Addition to this, project team need to have the right combination of skills, abilities, and personality types to achieve collaborate obtention. So let's now proceed to the problem of cultural differences. So as I discussed the project team, I already explained that we can assign to different projects and we are required to have cooperation by the individuals and groups from one country to another or different country. There are high chance to group with other people with different behavior, perspective, and moreover, differences in culture. It is not only differences in culture that matters, it also differences in the environment within which projects are conducted. So, if that happens, the project management must manage and reduce conflicts between the parties. When I say parties, it can be a project team, the client, the management, and the organization, and even the public. If the parties have different nations, industries, and firms, there are a high chance that the project would face a conflict and problem because of cultural differences. So let's now proceed on what culture means. When we say culture, it refers to the entire way of life for a group of people. It encompasses every aspect of life. For its word, entire way of life, it is a beliefs and institution of population that are passed down from generation to generation. So there are four elements that are common to all culture. Number one is technology, 2 institution, 3 language, 4 and arts. When we say technology of culture, it refers to all aspects of the matter's lives, which includes the thing as the tools used by people, the material things they produce and use, the way they prepare foods, and their skills and attitude towards work. Like for example, in dress code, in Western, they adopting a more casual approach. They enter to a business meeting with their casual piece suit, with blazer, a pair of slacks, while here in our country, because of hot and humid weather, we prepare a typical cotton-colored shirt, dress, pants, or a skirt. Number 2 is the institution. So, the institution of the culture make up the structure of society, organization of the government, the nature of the family, the way in which religion are organized, the division of labor, the kind of economic system adopted, the system of education, and lastly, the way in which voluntary associations are formed and maintained. Example of this is the nature of family. We Filipinos are different from other countries because we have an extended family. Sometimes even if their children have their own family, they still live with their parents together with their family. While in the common culture preference in America is to have a small family unit with the extended family living separately. Number 3 is language. So language is another ingredient of all culture. It is always unique because it is developed in a way that meets the express need of the culture. The translation of one's culture's language into another is rarely precise because word had connotative meaning as well as denotative meaning. So we have 100 of language. It can be a speech, a sign language, or even an emotional language. And it's so difficult to know all of them because we are born in different environment, and that shows that language is one of the elements of culture differences. Number 4 is art. It is a static values of culture. Static values dictates what is found beautiful and satisfying. So when we say society said to have style, style is from the culture static values, and that style have its source. So let's proceed to the culture and the project. A nation culture affects project in many ways. Like what we discussed earlier, there is a large cultural differences in this world that can cause a problem in the project. There are many components to becoming a top performing team, but the key is working on a highly cooperative relationship. So, all team members are encouraged for relationship building. Each member should be responsible to recognize value and utilize unique strength of each other for the whole team to build on trust and cooperation. And lastly, always remember that if you work in a project, the environment which project are conducted always matters. You should put your faith in their culture and hug it with all your arms. Thank you. It's reporter Chrysalie Escaler.
Hi, my name is Chrysalie P. Escaler and I will be the reporter about the topic Impacts of Institutional Environment on Project Management. To start with, environmental factors can have an impact on project management even in environments that are relatively stable. From access to capital, to access to technology, to access to people, projects will succeed or fail based on the project leader's ability to make maximum use of available resources. In addition, unanticipated changes in the environment can cause the most well-managed and smoothly proceeding project to lose momentum. So the first impact is the access to capital. There are few projects that don't require the access to capital or money to produce the tools, equipment, and raw materials necessary to move the project forward and ensure a successful completion. Access to capital can be an environmental factor that can impact project management. Initially, if the project is not well scoped so that all of the capital requirements are identified and bids attained, unpleasant surprises could occur at a later stage. During a project, changes may occur in the environment in terms of access to or pricing of the materials needed to complete the project. Next is access to people. All projects require people, but people are not always readily available to contribute to or complete projects. Sometimes, the issue is related to capacity, as there are simply not enough people to get a job done. Other times, the issue is related to ability, which can be not enough of the right people to complete a project. Environmental projects can affect access to people to complete projects as well. Certain types of skilled workers or specialists may be in short of supply, for instance, or they may not be available in the geographic area where the project is being managed. So the third one is access to technology. In many cases, technology can streamline the process of project management. However, access to technology may be limited or the necessary technology may be expensive or not compatible with existing technology or equipment. In addition, even when technology is available, training may become an issue and can create delays and added expense for projects. The last one is the unanticipated environmental changes. Regardless of how effective a project manager is or how carefully a project is planned, like disasters or economic shifts, can affect the project at any stage of its implementation. So that will be the impacts of institutional environment to project management. So the next reporter will be Miss Eunice Rombase.